Hi, thank you very much for the introduction. My name is David Freuden. I'm the Token Economics League and the DAO champion at Dtravel. I've been a part of the tourism industry since before 2000, and I entered the crypto space around about 2016. In late 2019, I started researching DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and I became a huge fan of their potential and how they're restructuring organizations, but more importantly, how they enable communities to start interacting with them. In May 2020, I co-authored a paper with a mate of mine, George Summon, titled DAO, a decentralized governance layer for the Internet of Value. And a lot has happened since we published that 18 months ago, and a lot has happened in the last 5.5 years since DAOs first started. It's still really early days, and it's really exciting to see the scope of interest and the opportunities for DAOs, both inside and also outside the crypto world. Seeing how they can improve the coordination of resources and talent, the value that's being created by the contributors that's coming from the community that the DAOs serve, and also the redistribution of value to the communities. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to Dtravel, the next evolution of home sharing. If you can change slides, please. So what is Dtravel? Dtravel is a decentralized global home sharing community that facilitates accommodation discovery, bookings, and payment. Users can make and receive payments in traditional currencies, as they do now through home sharing platforms, and also popular cryptocurrencies. And of course, with Dtravel, our fees are much lower than other home sharing platforms. But we're much more than a home sharing platform. Dtravel is structured as a DAO. That means we're community owned and governed. We operate for the benefit of the community members, which is composed of our platform users, the hosts and the guests, as well as contributors and TRVL holders. And TRVL is the native token of Dtravel. We have the very ambitious and exciting goal of competing with the largest home sharing platforms in the world by offering an alternative of home sharing and how they're currently structured. And by using a DAO, we get to redistribute the value that actually is generated within the ecosystem and from the platform. If we can go to the next slide, please. Dtravel started as being DeFi native, crypto native, and online native. Whilst home sharing is more tactile, it comes from a world which is face-to-face humans, and it's become tech-enabled through home sharing platforms. Hosts and guests are sharing experiences across hundreds of cities in many languages, cultures, and with that, of course, hundreds of different regulations and nuances within each city. Dtravel is bridging and embracing both of these worlds. We're bringing the inclusive community with shared values and purposes that come from DAOs and enabling an equal opportunity for contribution, for voice, and for a vote on how home sharing platforms are managed. And we're enabling the community to do that directly. Next slide, please. We believe that home sharing platforms that are owned and governed by the community members will usher in a new type of sharing economy that would be transformative to the market as it was for the home sharing platforms that came before us. When we first came together in early 2021 with the idea of building Dtravel, we started by writing a manifesto to articulate our shared vision and purpose. Some of the points are on this screen. We published this in our blog for anyone that's interested. You can just go to medium.com/Dtravel Community and go through our resources there. If you could jump to the next slide, please. Thank you. So the Dtravel Community. Dtravel is unique in that many of our home sharing platform users are non-crypto native and definitely non-DAO native. To provide some context, in the home sharing economy, the fastest growing sector of hosts are actually seniors, 55 plus, which is vastly different to the majority of users inside the crypto world. Guests share more of a demographic profile with the crypto community, with over half of them aged between 18 and 34. So to ensure alignment of our long-term vision, we need to ensure that both the hosts and guests have TRVL tokens so that they can participate in the governance of Dtravel. We don't want the token to be an obstacle to participation and engagement. So the DAO has allocated 9% of the total supply of TRVL tokens, that's 90 million tokens, to be distributed as rewards for hosts and guests. And we'll be doing this through two initiatives, through onboarding initiatives such as the early bird signups and referrals, and through growth actions, which is rewarding both hosts and guests for completing bookings through Dtravel. These initiatives will see 90 million TRVL tokens distributed to between 400 and 560,000 community members. And for many community members, this will be their very first experience having a voice within a home sharing platform. And they'll also have a vote. There's an article also on the Dtravel blog titled 90 Million Reasons to Use Dtravel that goes into a lot more detail about these initiatives and how they work. And they're also outlined on the Dtravel white paper. If we can go to the next slide, please. For Dtravel as a decentralized home sharing ecosystem, we need to enable and encourage contribution and autonomy throughout the whole ecosystem. And we believe the best way to achieve this is through multiple DAOs and also multiple representative councils. As the ecosystem grows and we scale, we want to push autonomy into the hands of the communities as opposed to having one larger representative council responsible for a growing diverse community that have different and unique needs. And they're different from everything from geography, languages, culture, nuances. And we believe by being able to push out a lot of the control, decision-making, participation through multiple DAOs, we'll be able to have a higher level of engagement, a high level of voting and participation in governance. If we can jump to the next slide, please. So looking at how we've structured it, when we look at Treasury, the Community Growth Fund, and the Protection Pool. This provides two advantages. First, each fund has a focused objective of what they actually do, what their activities are that they'll fund. Second, the separation enables each fund in the future to elect their own representative council, and this will further assist in the decentralization of the control of Dtravel as the ecosystem grows. Jumping into what these funds do, the community treasury, the funds are allocated towards operational expenses and grants related to the development and the management of the Dtravel platform itself and the associated services. They'll be funding the grants DAO and the community DAOs, as well as facilitating governance participation. And the community treasury itself is funded by the booking fees that are charged on the Dtravel platform. The Community Growth Fund, that's focused on driving adoption and growth of the Dtravel platform. The 90 million TRVL tokens that are allocated for onboarding incentives and growth actions, they come from the Community Growth Fund. And we'll be launching these initiatives early next year and making announcements of that on our social media channels. The Protection Pool, one of the key concerns for hosts in home sharing is protection of property damage caused by guests. And to ensure sufficient funds are readily available to assist hosts when these events do occur, we've put together a dedicated protection pool with $1 million, which is accessible by the hosts. To ensure the long-term sustainability of the protection pool, 1% of every booking made on the Dtravel platform is also allocated to the protection pool. And again, that's specifically for the hosts that are providing their properties on the platform. If we can jump to the next slide. When we look at the governance structure, as I've mentioned, we've designed governance so that we can continue to decentralize as our ecosystem grows and to continue to push autonomy into the hands of the community. So the representative council, this was elected by the early contributors. Initially, we're starting with 3 representative council members, and this will grow as the ecosystem grows. And the representative council is supported by council advisors with expertise and experience across home sharing platforms, online travel agencies, crypto travel platforms, DeFi, compliance, to name a few. You can see the profiles of many of our contributors and our council advisors on the Genesis Partners website, genesis.partners. And as we continue to decentralize, we'll also be nurturing multiple representative councils, and we'll see these contributors grow. When we look at governance, as we're structured as a DAO, our real goal is to enable community members to contribute to the dialogue around improvement proposals and to vote on those proposals. So to ensure an equal opportunity for participation and to ensure users have a voice and a vote, that's why the Growth Fund has allocated 9% of the TRVL token supply to go to hosts and guests. And this will enable up to 560,000 community members to participate in the governance of Dtravel. And this will be a first for any home sharing platform to actually allow the community to have not just a say in the dialogue and even shape the dialogue, but also a vote on the proposals that get put forward. When we look at the Grants DAO and the Community DAO, we've structured them separately. There's a lot of great features in DeFi and with DAOs that we love, and one of them is how the community members participate and contribute. So we want to enable and reward community members to contribute, and we're going to do this through the Community DAO. The Community DAO, for example, will be launching our Support to Earn program early next year. Support to Earn allows our community members to share their experience and knowledge to contribute to operational functions on the Dtravel platform, such as customer support, dispute resolution, member onboarding, and more. And in return for that, they'll be given TRVL token as rewards. The Grants DAO is structured to empower innovation and development that supports the growth, education, and the engagement of the whole Dtravel ecosystem itself. And all of our token holders are eligible to apply for any grants and submit applications. Then we'll be opening that up also early next year. So as Dtravel grows our member base, we'd like to see multiple community DAOs and multiple grant DAOs develop in the ecosystem. They'll each have their own budget allocations, they'll have autonomy, and they'll have representative councils elected by the community. If we could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. As a home sharing platform, we'll be introducing many community members to cryptocurrencies and DAOs for the very first time. And this opens up a whole bunch of brand new challenges. It's going to require a huge commitment of ongoing education and support. And we want to lean on the community to be a part of that through initiatives such as Support to Earn and through developing tools alongside the Dtravel team and with the representative council. So we'll be working collaboratively with our community to design and develop the best tools, what the resources should be and the programs, so that we can contribute to the ecosystem growing, to ensure that all our community members have a voice and a vote on proposals and are familiar with how to vote, and sharing the experiences and expertise of hosts through our initiatives such as Support to Earn. Next slide, please. So it's exciting times for us. We started early 2021. We've just launched the TRVL token last week on the 26th of November, and our platform is now live. In our first month, we onboarded our first 200,000 properties so that we can already service guests immediately with some good inventory. We started with properties from professional property managers so that we have ample supply from guests, and we will be enabling individual hosts to start listing their homes from the second quarter next year, 2022. They can sign up now for the whitelist on dtravel.com, and we'll be keeping in touch with them through email and also through our social channels. So for now, we'd like to invite everyone to book your next home sharing experience with us. Join our community, contribute to our success, spread the word, and if you can join any of the social media tags there, and please reach out with any ideas and suggestions on how we can help grow our ecosystem. I'd like to thank you everyone for your time. If there are questions or if you're wanting further information, you can email or work through the social channels of BlockDown or jump onto our social channels and reach out directly. Thank you.